Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the press conference with Team England. Here we have the head coach, Gareth Southgate, and also Jordan Henderson. Before you ask your questions, please remember to introduce yourselves. Let us know your name, your organization, and also what language you'll be speaking, because that helps with translation. And always remember, we need a microphone for the questions. Okay, so let's get started. First question right here, please. Right here in the middle.
Hello, this is Mark Schmidt from the Bild newspaper in Germany. It's in German. We were seeing pictures today that you were like throwing around a chicken, like a plastic chicken, when you started practice. What was that all about?
That's exactly what I asked our fitness coach as well. Yeah, what is that all about? Our physical performance coaches try to keep refreshing the warm-ups for the players and keep them stimulated. So just a bit of fun to get them moving and some of the mobility exercises. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Juan Irigoyen from El País, Spain. Question for the coach. Is Sean Stones your Gerard Piqué? This is the first one. And you spend so many nights watching NBA matches.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the first part?
If Sean Stones your Gerard Piqué?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, he. I actually asked Cheeky Begiristan to compare the two because obviously he worked with them at the same age. So for me, what is nice is that we've worked with John since he was an under-21 international, and I've always believed that he's a player, style of player that maybe we haven't had in English football before. Rio Ferdinand probably as close as we've had. So the way we want to progress as a national federation and national teams at all ages, we need defenders who can use the ball in that style. And Walker, Stones, Maguire have done that really well, but John has definitely, as the centre of the three, dictated the tempo of the game, and his use of the ball and his understanding of supporting angles and reading of the game has been excellent. But also his defending has been excellent. Against Sweden, a different sort of test, physical test, where maybe some people might have thought he would find that more difficult, and I thought he was exceptional the way he defended as well in that game. NBA? No, I've not seen lots of NBA games. No.
Next question here, please.
Olof Lund, Swedish TV4. Question both for coach and player. Going into this game, how much do you feel and reflect over the legacy of English football? You haven't won since 1966, and everyone thinks now is the big opportunity.
I think we're just concentrating on what we want to do, on what we want to create. We've obviously done okay so far, but we want to keep going. We've took each game by game, and we've just got to continue to do that. It's a massive game for us. We all know that, but there's no need to make it bigger than what it already is. We just focus on what we need to do, on what the job in hand is. But we're going to obviously take a lot of good things from the past in terms of '66 and what they achieved then. But it was a long time ago, so not too many of us can remember that far back.
Even I can't remember that far back. So no, we are enjoying the journey. We came here to enjoy our football. We have all the way through been one of the youngest teams in the tournament, the least experienced team in the tournament. But we were never quite sure how far this team could go, and the age of the players, the improvement in the players, the hunger in the players has been apparent for everybody to see. We're really proud in the style that we've played, with the intelligence that we've played, and that we've performed under pressure and dealt with difficult situations in games where we've had to wait until the last minute to score. We've had to recover from conceding in the last minute. We've been through extra time, penalties. So we've made several pieces of history. Biggest win in a tournament for England. First knockout win for 10 years. First quarter-final win for longer. So we're just looking to keep breaking those barriers down, and it's really been an enjoyable journey. We want to keep it going.
We are now closing this session for photographers, so I kindly ask you to leave. Thank you. Thanks. We're going to continue over there in the end, please.
Gareth, Jonathan Swain, Good Morning Britain in English. First of all, best of luck for tomorrow. And are you aware of the craze that's sweeping the nation back home of Waistcoat Wednesday? You're responsible for that, and lots of fans are on their way now to support you and the team wearing their waistcoats as we speak.
Well, I think I've said this before. I was not a renowned fashion icon throughout my playing career, so it's rather strange to feel that way now. But we are really proud of the support that we're receiving. We've had the chance to make a difference. You know, our supporters, our country has had a long time of suffering in terms of football, and the enthusiasm they have for these players, because of the way they've, not only the way they've played, but the way they've conducted themselves. They've been brilliant ambassadors for our country, and I think everybody can see that. They're proud to wear the shirt. It's great for them that they've got some enjoyable experiences now playing for England. And our country has been through some difficult moments recently in terms of its unity, and I think sport has the power to do that, and football in particular has the power to do that. And so for us, we can feel the energy and we can feel the support from home, and that's a very special feeling. It's a privilege for us.
Thank you. A question in English from Xinhua News Agency of China. I'm Yue. I want to ask a question for both head coach and the player. We know Croatia have some best midfielders, like from Barcelona and Real Madrid. Like, for example, Luka Modric and Ivan Rakitic. We know also Henderson has played against them in Champions League. So what's England's plan to contain their creative midfield tomorrow night? Thank you.
Well, I can't tell you our plan, but obviously the players that you've mentioned are fantastic players. I feel they're a fantastic team. They work for each other, they work together, and that's obviously why they're in the semi-final of the World Cup. Yes, I've played against Modric a few times, and he's a world-class player, probably one of the best I've played against. So hopefully he has a quiet night tomorrow. But we'll do our best to try and keep him quiet, but everybody else as well, because they've got a lot of threat from different areas. But we've been working on the last few days on what we need to do, and hopefully we've just got to go out there and implement it in the game. Yeah,
I can't add much more than that, really. I endorse everything Jordan says about the players you mentioned. Croatia have some, you know, for a country that's population is small, not just now, but over the years, they've produced some incredible footballers, and we know the quality of their players, and we know the spirit they have as a nation as well. So it's a huge test for us, but we're in the semi-final of a World Cup. We wouldn't expect it to be any different.
Right here, please. Yes, right there.
Jordan, hi. Are you aware of this record you've got of going 30 games without England losing, personally yourself? How much pride do you take from that? And do you think you're kind of changing and have changed opinions of yourself in an England shirt where maybe there was some doubts? And just Gareth, would you say that record, what would you say that record speaks about Jordan's performances?
Well, we better keep him fit for a start.
Yeah, so, someone mentioned it the other day. There was, but to be honest, I wouldn't really look too much into it because I don't win on my own. We win as a team, just as much as if I played and we lost every match. I don't think it would be my fault either. So, yeah, of course, I want to win. We want to win as a team, but it's not down to any individual or one player. It's down to us as a team. It's down to what we do behind the scenes, what we work on in training, all the hard work to get here. Yeah, the whole squad, even people that aren't even here, that have chipped in for us to be able to be at this situation now. Yeah, so that's what I focus on, and yeah, the biggest thing for me is just continuing to win, and yeah, hopefully there's a few more wins over the next week.
Just one question per journalist, please, or the second part? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
go ahead,
No
please.
problem. Yeah, no, I think Jordan's a player who has been underestimated for a long time. Watched him a lot at Sunderland as a young player. To go to Liverpool and establish yourself at Liverpool, fill the shoes of probably their greatest ever player and captain, and do it in the way that he has. He has the total trust of his manager at club level. He's an outstanding person, outstanding leadership qualities, and the quality of his game has gone on to another level this season. I think his positional understanding, reading of danger, and you can see he's seeing really clear pictures with the ball, seeing passes early, seeing forward passes early. A couple of the through balls the other night were exceptional. So he's playing at the top of his game, and he should have huge confidence from having played in the biggest possible club matches already, and now he's replicating that form on the international stage. So he's not only a huge part of the team, but of what we're building in terms of his leadership as well, and his influence on other people. And we're very fortunate to have him.
Next question over there. Right behind.
Hi, Gareth. It's Raphael Honigstein, freelancer from the country of the World Cup holders. For a few more days. I wanted to ask you, you were a member of the last England team that found itself at in the semi-final of a big competition. Is there anything you can take from that experience into this game as a coach that will help you in a positive way, or maybe in terms of doing things differently as they were done then? Thanks.
I don't think we need to do anything differently. The feel of this group of players is very similar to the players we had then. But that team was a lot more experienced in terms of its age and experience of big matches, but had tactical understanding, had technically good players. We've got emerging leaders. At that time, that team had 6 captains of their club, so there was a lot of leadership within the group. But we approached the tournament in the same way. We were a group of guys having a lot of fun, enjoying our football, learning and improving all the time. And that's what these lads have done. And yeah, we're going into a semi-final, but it just seems to us like it's the next step along the journey. We've approached every game in the same way. Our preparation for all of the matches has been the same. And we feel we're in a good place, playing well. So football is a low-scoring game with random events that can happen, and you're never quite sure what's going to happen on the night. But I'm certain our team will play well because they are transferring what they do on the training pitch into the game, and I have complete trust that they'll go and play in the way we have throughout this tournament.
Next question, the lady right here.
Thank you. To you, Gareth, I'd like to ask you about the discussions over Raheem Sterling's performances in this World Cup, and are you at all surprised that Croatia's coach has identified him as one of the most dangerous players in your side? And if I may, for the two of you, could you tell me what you first thought, or what memories it evoked when you first heard, after your first win, the anthem, "Football's Coming Home," and now what it means when you hear it now?
Okay. Well, I'm not surprised that Croatia have identified Raheem as a key player. I think if you look at all of our attacking patterns and the way that our front four have combined and played, he's been instrumental in that. So I think he's a player that's really appreciated by the team, and I've seen lots of ex-players and had lots of messages from ex-players as well who are of the same views. So we're really pleased with his contribution. His work ethic as well without the ball's been incredible for us. And he's a huge threat, and in the game against Sweden was a huge threat throughout. Football's Coming Home was a song I couldn't even listen to for 20 years, frankly. So for me, as a slightly different feel, but it's nice to hear people enjoying it again anyway.
Next question right here, please. Right here. Do we have a microphone over there? Oh, yes, please. Go ahead.
I think it's obviously a special feeling to know that the people back home and out here in Russia are enjoying the experience just as much as we are. And yes, all the celebrations and the songs they're singing back home, inspires us as players to be able to sort of bring the nation together and put smiles on people's faces. And I think, that's the biggest thing so far that's come out of it, and we just want to continue to do that and do everybody proud.
Hi, Rob Harris from Associated Press. Gareth, obviously you've seen the sort of fallout from the defeat 11 years ago against Croatia, the changes in the system from inside and outside the system. If on Sunday you do happen to pull it off, England would hold the under-17, the under-20 and the main World Cup. How much of a fulfilment would that be of all the sort of plans and put in place by the FA to actually reach this point? And to Jordan, much has been made out of the fact that the FA tried to introduce changes, particularly after the shock of the Croatia defeat 11 years ago. Have you noticed from within how things like the DNA and things like that have actually helped to transform the team and through all age groups?
Yeah, I've obviously watched younger age groups in the tournaments previously, and there's some fantastic players coming through. It's a very exciting time for English football when I look at the young players coming through. And what they've achieved so far, and hopefully they can continue to grow and learn, and then do it on the biggest stage in the World Cup and in the Euros when they get the opportunity maybe in a few years' time. So yeah, I think it's definitely looking bright. Even if you look at our squad now, it's very young, very talented, and this experience can give so much confidence to the group and going forward. I just hope we can use this experience to keep going, keep improving, and hopefully win some trophies along the way.
Yeah, from my point of view, obviously I've been involved in all of the plans really right through the age group. So to have seen our younger teams have the success they have has been hugely rewarding. We know that our academies at club level are producing really good players, technically good players, and we made a lot of changes with the national teams, too many to highlight individually, but lots of changes that have helped us to be successful, and we believe that we've got to continue doing that. We have to constantly evolve and improve, and for this team the same. The experiences over the last few weeks that I've already spoken about, the sort of milestones they've hit, will be with them now. They're a great reference point moving forward, and the more big games we're involved in, the more pressure situations they're involved in and they come out successful, the more belief it will build. So we've got a core group of young players that in this squad that we believe can take us forward. And there's obviously others coming through our age group teams with good experiences who have belief that they can win, but also a bit more expectation that we need to be in quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals regularly. That's what we wanted to do with our younger teams. So all of that work is great, but you really have to achieve at senior level in the end for that to be fulfilled. And we've got a great opportunity now to get to the final.
Over here, please.
Matt Lawton, Daily Mail, in English, and I'll ask just one question. Gareth, can we just return to the subject of the value that Jordan brings as a player in your squad? Because you've got a squad full of pretty inexperienced players who's actually won a major semi-final recently, has played in a final. Is that something you're drawing on? Because he is quite unique, really, in your team at the moment. Yeah,
it's we've got some players who've won trophies this year with the club, who've played in big finals. Jesse and Marcus have already won a European final, even though they're very young as well. But we do involve the players in some of those discussions around their thinking and preparation for big matches, because of course, as a coaching staff, we can talk to them about that and we can give our experience of big games. But sometimes it's more powerful for them to hear from their own teammates, what's important leading into big matches, the preparation for big matches. And we've had those discussions in the last couple of weeks, as well as, previous to coming out here. And generally speaking, the biggest thing is to keep things as normal as possible. There's a lot of outside our circle that could affect us leading into a big game, and a lot of arrangements for tickets and extra commitments. But we've been tucked away in our base camp, preparing the same way. Families came in a couple of days ago, as they have done throughout this tournament. And our preparation for the game with the same sorts of meetings and training sessions has been identical. So I think it's important that there is consistency leading into matches like this. You don't have to change things, you don't have to do things differently. I don't think you have to find another level, generally speaking, as a player. If you can perform at your regular level in these games, then very often that's more than enough, because people can be inhibited in big matches. And that's what's pleased me about the last two rounds. We've hit a good level of performance, and that's what we have to focus on again tomorrow.
Right here.
Mr. Southgate, the question in Russian, if it's possible. Мы знаем про традицию английского чаепития, но есть и русское чаепитие, и перед турниром вам подарили самовар на базе рядом с Санкт-Петербургом. Скажите, было ли у вас русское чаепитие во время вашего пребывания в России?
I'm a rare breed. I'm an Englishman that doesn't drink tea. So, but we have some Yorkshiremen who drink tea, and they have their own tea with them. What I must say about the way we've been received here has been fantastic. Every city we've played in, of course in our base in particular, but everywhere we've played, we've had a really warm welcome. The organisation of the tournament has been absolutely first class. The welcome of the Russian people has been top. I was here last summer for the Confederation Cup and was exactly the same. So there were a lot of stories leading into the tournament that I knew weren't going to be true. And that's proved to be the case. It's been a fantastic World Cup. Of course, it's always better for us because we've won some games, but regardless of that, I think the football across the board has been really exciting, really entertaining, and the hosting of the tournament and the cities that have hosted have been outstanding.
The lady over there, please, in the end.
Hello, I'm Julia from TV Globo Brazil. Question for Henderson. What was the most important change that you've seen on the team since Southgate started as a coach? And for Southgate, how different is this team from the one 2 years ago?
I think the biggest thing that the gaffer's brought since he's come in, which I spoke about from day one, was identity. About the way that we wanted to play as a team, how we wanted to play, and we had discussions early on when he took over as manager through the team, and we were on the same page straight away, and we wanted I think that was the biggest thing that came up in the conversations, was having an identity and playing the way that we felt comfortable as a team. And then the managers obviously implemented that brilliantly on the training sessions we've had on the pitch, but also sessions that we've had off the pitch, getting to know each other even closer, even deeper than previous. And I think you can see that togetherness on the pitch now, and I think that's vital in crucial moments in big games. And yeah, I can definitely see that this is the most together England team that I've been involved in. So I think that makes a massive difference, and you get your rewards for that. And now we're in the semi-final of the World Cup, and we want to continue and give everything to get to the final.
I think that, yeah, I would agree with Jordan. There was this team. Sometimes you have to go through difficult times as a team and failures to learn and to improve. And there were a lot of young players that were involved in the team 2 years ago who suffered a huge disappointment. And we could have ignored that and tried to be positive and look to the future, but we felt it was important to learn from it and unpick it a bit and find out exactly why. Not just that performance, but we've had 10 years or so of 10 years since we won a knockout game. So a lot of areas we felt we might be able to improve. We've been fortunate that the English FA have backed us financially to bring in a lot of staff, and we've had experts in lots of different fields: physical area, medical area, coaching. So we really feel that we've got good support for the players, and we've planned really well. We've put a lot of time into watching hundreds of matches, whether that's been our players or opponents, and learning as much as we possibly can. And we're starting to see through the age groups some success because of that. But that is an ongoing process, and we have to keep improving as a team. This team is nowhere near the level they're going to be capable of, partly because of their age and partly because over the next few years with us and with their clubs, they're going to have more and more big match experiences. So we're excited about the future, but also we want to make the most of the opportunity we have tomorrow as well.
2 final questions here, and there in the end.
Hi guys, Croatian National Television. Questions for both of you. Mr. Southgate, can you tell us, is everybody fit for tomorrow, healthy? And can you compare a little bit the style of play from Croatia and England? And for Jordan, your teammate is Dejan Lovren in Liverpool. You played together in the finals of the Champions League. He's one of the best Croatian defenders right now in the first team. Can you tell us about him? And did you have a chance to talk maybe with the Harry Kane or England forwards how to go past him or stuff like that? Advice for them.
I'll obviously speak the forwards and tell them what I think, but at the end of the day, Dejan's a fantastic defender. I think he's had his fair share of criticism over the last year or so, but I think he's done so well over the last 6 months, really, especially after the start of the season. He suffered a lot of criticism, but he's bounced back so well. And for me, he's got everything a centre-half needs. He's aggressive, good in the air, can play out from the back, good on the ball, and he's a real leader as well, which is massive as a defender, always talking. And I'm so pleased for him. Because he's a great person as well, a great character off the field and in the dressing room. So I'm pleased for him that he's in the semi-final of a World Cup, but hopefully that journey for him ends tomorrow. I'm very close to him at Liverpool, and I wish him all the best. But like I say, hopefully that journey for him ends tomorrow.
We have every player available, so that's huge credit to our players for the way they've committed to the physical programs we've done, but also our medical and fitness staff who pieced together, along with the training periodisation, a program where we've almost had every player fit for every training session. There's a bit of good luck with that because you can have contact injuries, but we've really been able to minimise muscular injuries throughout the 7 weeks we've been together. And then in terms of the styles of the teams, probably a bit more similar now than in the past. We know that Croatia like to build possession. Their midfield players like to drop deep and receive the ball. They have exciting wingers who have speed to get in behind you as well. They have an obvious threat from crosses, which we'll have to be able to deal with. And of course, we know the quality of the midfield players and their ability to pick passes out and to score from distance if we allow them to shoot. So we're very clear on the strengths of the Croatian team, and they have some big match experience in that team as well.
Hi, it's Guillem Balaguer, Diario AS. A question for both of you. Often at this stage of tournaments, managers, players reach out people that they're not usually in contact with, but have been very, very important to give them tickets or to invite them to the tournament or to a semi-final. Have you done that, and who are they? Will you share it, and why?
You're going to make us look bad now, aren't you? No. To be honest, I've just been focusing on the games, the coming recovery game, just that's all I've been focusing on. And in my defence, everybody's back training now anyway, back home. So all the managers are back, all the coaches are back and things like that back. So I don't think they'll be able to fly out to the game, but I'm sure they'll be watching from home. And hopefully a lot of them want England to win. So obviously my family's out here supporting us, but no one in particular that I've sort of invited, no.
I always think big matches are a bit like weddings, because you have a day reception and then an evening, and you have to make a decision on who's coming during the day and then who's coming in the evening. So impossible to make those decisions without upsetting half of your friends. It's a very short turnaround for the games, and travel is a bit more complicated. So very simply for me, I've just got my family coming. But of course, whenever you're involved in a tournament like this, you do think about the people that have helped you along the way. And every coach I work with, teacher, players that I played with, I've had lots of lovely messages from people and some big influences in my life, all of whom have played a part in me sitting here today. So I'm very grateful for all the support and help I've had across my 30 years in football, and of course from my parents before that. You're always conscious of that, because none of us are where we are just because of ourselves. It's the support of those around you and the people that were there for you in difficult times, as well as when things were going well.
Thank you very much, everyone. Best of luck to England.
Thank you.
Thank you.